What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a great Friday morning. But we've got ourselves some Eagles news, so let's jump right into this bad boy. This is not a live video, but I appreciate you taking the time. Whether you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Appreciate you hitting that like button, subscribing, everything you're doing to support the channel. But we've got some practice squad news. We've talked about this. I mean, it's like this every week, every year. You see people getting worked up, lost. Why? Oh, huge moves coming. The Eagles are signing someone to the practice. This doesn't open up any active roster spots. This is a practice squad move. So you see all the insanity of it. But I make these shows every single time something happens. That way you're on top of what's actually going down here. And look, if you have any further information you want to throw in, I'm not Mr. Know-It-All here. You guys got anything you'd love to throw in, please do. But if you remember Kindle Vildor here, we're going to talk about him signed to the Eagles practice squad. You remember, we actually talked about him a couple years ago when we played the Bears, and I talked about him being a very underrated cornerback in this league that really liked his skill set. So, well, now I get to see it firsthand on the Eagles practice squad. So, look, we're going to get to know Kindle Vildor here. We'll take a look at the updated practice squad, but any thoughts, anything on your mind, love to hear it here. But we let go of Brandon Smith, the linebacker we talked about last week. And, a lot of people get carried away with this stuff. We sign a practice squad guy, and it's this guy's Hall of Fame bound. He's the next grade. It's like, let's see if they can make it to the active roster first. So I know a bunch of you are going to be bummed out about Brandon Smith, but this is a revolving door here on the practice squad. And when you've got so many injuries to the secondary, well, things like this are going to happen. So Brandon Smith could be back next week. He could be back tomorrow. They could let someone go. So just stay tuned. I'll keep you ahead of everything here. But Kindle Vildor, let's talk about him. Sounds like an effing Disney villain or something, but love it. Dude's, somebody, when we talked about him a couple of years ago, I talked about how impressed I was with his man coverage. One of the funny things is we do run man here at times, but, with this multiple scheme defense, you're going to see a lot of different things. And you see a lot of off man at times, the match zone concepts. And that's something I thought he kind of struggled at. But look, I mean, he's obviously not on a team for a reason. He's got a ways to go here. And look, I think for me, this kid, he's got some talent here, and he's still pretty damn young at 25 years old. So anytime you can find guys like this, how we signed Isaiah Rodgers, and, you look at things where it's like, okay, who knows? Maybe this guy is going to, become something in the right system. Maybe this, that, the other thing. Look, there's so many things that are going on in the NFL. And I think anytime you can find someone, he's not even undrafted. The kid was taken in the 5th round in 2020, pick 163. So I think that, an ankle injury put him on IR last year. So, I mean, things like that happen. You hope that he comes back fully healthy, but you have no idea. But this gives us an opportunity. He was in Tennessee last year for like 2 games, but didn't put up any stats or anything like that. So I'm not going to show you that, but that was the team he was most recently with. But where you'll see about him is from the Chicago Bears when he played with Sean Desai there. So 25 years old, 5'11", 198. I've seen 5'10" as well, so somewhere around there. But let's take a look at his career stats. And as I mentioned, if you know about him or probably think you heard his name, it's because of the Bears there. So he started 22 out of 46 games, 1 interception, 10 passes deflected, 98 tackles. 3 of those tackles were lost, 1 sack, 1 quarterback hit, and he allowed 79 completions on 115 targets. That is 68.6 completion percentage allowed. So that's pretty good. We just talked about Darius Slay last night. He's around that right now. So if you're talking about, a Pro Bowler in the same category as this kid, look, I mentioned it. I'd love to actually go back and try to find that video talking about him, see what I actually said. But it was one of those matchup videos. I remember talking about him and I think Jalen Johnson. And he's still a Bears corner, and they're talking about trading him. But look, I like Vildor. And this is a no-risk kind of signing here. It's practice squad. I see people getting worked up. We need this. I want that. Dude, this is a good move. You get some versatility here. And now another cornerback in the mix. And we talked about it. Go check out that video from yesterday, adding Josiah Scott, all these other pieces. But you can check out the roster. I'll post it down in the comments in case you missed that video yesterday. Just an updated look at the Eagles roster and practice squad with all these moves. But the only thing different now, if you watch that video, is this one move here. So you'll know everything else. But here is the full list of practice squad members. And as you can see, if you haven't been tuning in, we signed Julio Jones and Lou Nichols to the offense. And then on the defensive side, Goodrich is now on the practice squad there, and now Kindle Vildor. So you've got Garner, Goodrich, Mullen, and Vildor now as cornerbacks. And then, of course, Tristan McCullum as a safety. So you've got a lot of secondary pieces. We've got a lot of injuries. Looking like Roby and Blankenship probably not going to play this week. So, look, we're going to need all the help we can get. And who knows, injuries continue to happen. It's not like they just stop. So we got to be prepared at all times. And Sean Desai bringing in a familiar face here in Kindle Vildor. And maybe we just found ourselves a diamond in the rough, or maybe it amounts to nothing, and who cares? It's the practice squad. So I'm all about it. Best of luck to you, Kindle Vildor, but that's all I've got for you guys so far. But I will be back with that game status report, who's questionable, who's out, around 4:30, 5 o'clock today. Then, live tonight, Fan Friday. All your questions, topics, and all you channel members, make sure to get your questions and topics into the mailbag. We're going to be going through it all tonight live. But I appreciate you taking the time watching this bad boy. If you got anything from it, do me a favor, hit that like button. You can always subscribe down below. But until later today, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. Hope you all have yourselves a fantastic Friday. Hope to see you later. You stay safe out there. And as always, go Birds!